we're going to talk about today is what is actually repelling your twin flame. Okay? What is actually truly pushing them away? What is repelling them? Okay? And this is if this is your true twin. Okay? If this is really a twin flame, what is the biggest repellent? Okay? There's a couple things that we kind of need to understand before we get into what is actually repelling them. And that is going to be first to understand the concept that this is a soul connection, not a relationship, okay? So relationships have a bit of a different agreement than a soul relation, than a twin flame connection, okay? So you really have to understand that this is a soul connection and not a relationship. I think that that's the hardest thing for people to really understand, because it seems like a lot of times we have a really hard time fathoming the concept of love, deep soul love beyond romance, okay? And this happens when we are predominantly powered by our lower chakras, okay? So it's really like the higher chakras are getting their energy from the lower chakras versus the higher chakras. It's the other way around. What's really going on is like the higher chakras are sending all of their energy out and powering down into the lower chakras, which is supposed to be the other way around. Okay? Because what we really want is to be using that lower energy to power ourselves in our higher chakra centers. We want to be moving that energy up and through us, okay? Which helps us in our level of awareness and things like that, instead of taking our higher energy and pulling it down into our lower chakra centers, okay? So that's what kind of happens with relationships. And that's the difference, okay? So relationships tend to kind of pull the energy from, pull the energy the wrong way. It's like an imbalance between the lower chakras and the higher chakra centers, okay? So you really don't want to be taking all your higher divine energy and pulling it down through your lower chakra centers. That's imbalance. And in relationships, that's a lot of times what we're doing. That's why there's such an emphasis on sex and, things like that. That's a lower chakra type of thing. And anybody who has any level of spiritual knowledge, you should know that. You know that the lower chakras is where that type of energy comes from. I don't see how anybody would be able to deny that. Okay, so we have to understand that these soul connections are not meant to operate that way. So the reason that you'll run into problems and you can't navigate this the way you do a relationship is because you cannot get through a twin flame connection and bring about harmony while you're pulling all of your divine energy down into your lower chakras and operating from there. Okay? And so we have to understand, that's the first thing that we really have to understand. But then we have to look at the fact that these connections include a soul love. Okay, so it's a soul to soul love, not a body to body love. Okay, it's beyond your physical bodies. Okay, so you have to know that your soul has concerns that your physical body doesn't have. Your physical body doesn't care about a lot of things that are good for you. The physical body is not the one that's gonna tell you that you should eat healthy. Your physical body will operate in its lower centers if you are not governing it from your higher chakra centers, okay? So that's just the way the lower, our lower energy centers operate. This is a soul love that can't help but care about, the soul cannot help but to care about things from the higher chakra centers, okay? So your soul is concerned about things that your body is not concerned about. Your body doesn't care that, there's a deeper lacking issue within your soul, within you and your connection to your soul, that is causing you to want to make that connection outward to somebody else more than you're wanting to make it inward with yourself, okay? Things like that. So we have to understand that relationships tend to operate in something different, where we don't ever get into our higher chakra centers and have to deal with a connection on that level, deal with a connection with somebody else that's based on a connection that we have within ourselves. In relationships, we tend to more so agree with someone else to help each other feel better, not being connected. Feel better. We help each other. We compromise. We do what the other one needs us to do, and they do what we need them to do in order to comfort each other in not growing, in not having to change, in not having to embrace the higher chakra centers and energy centers and our higher selves. Okay, that's what relationships do. This dynamic is something different. So when you look at what is actually repelling your twin flame, you have to understand these dynamics to see why things that work in regular relationships will not work here. In fact, they will make things worse. Okay, they make things worse. This is why I get people that come to me and then their twin flame, they've blocked each other. They refuse to talk to each other. It's things like this because you weren't looking at those higher things and you were trying to operate in this like a relationship when it's beyond that. Okay, so another thing we need to look at is fear. Okay. So when we say that this is a soul connection and this is based on something deeper than the physical body, we have to understand now that fear, because I'm getting there, we're going to answer this question about what is actually repelling twin flames. But if you don't understand these things, you really won't get it. Fear alters the true expression of the soul. So remember, this is a soul connection where two souls love each other, okay? And fear alters the authentic expression between the souls, okay? So this is what I mean by that, and this is what this can look like. In our soul, we have a desire to express this love that we have. We have a desire to just say, I love you in a way that I've never loved anybody else. I can't imagine. I could have never dreamed of loving someone and feeling this level of connection to someone else in my life. Is beyond anything that I've ever imagined. It is so beyond me that it scares me sometimes. Okay, that may be your reality and your truth. But fear is going to impact the way that you would be willing to express that. Okay, so instead of saying that, what you'll actually do is begin to say something that you feel, because see, what happens is you're not ready to express straight from your soul and what it is that you want to say, right? So you begin to look at them instead of being connected to yourself and just moving and operating from the soul within you and just putting out whatever it is that you want to put out. You begin to think about how they're going to perceive it. So you want to get into their reality and what's going on with them. What does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with what you feel? Because regardless of what they feel, don't you feel this? Is this your true, authentic feeling and expression? So what happens is the fear alters the pure communication of the soul. Okay, so you say things that you kind of tell a little bit how you feel, but you don't want them to really know all the way, because you're worried that they don't feel that way, and you're way out here somewhere. Instead of remaining connected to yourself, you're way out here somewhere in what their experience is, and this fear causes you to express yourself in a way that's not authentic. Okay, so instead of saying what you really wanted to say, you say it a little bit differently because it's filtered through your fear. Okay, so this is the thing, your twin flame is you, right? That's what we say. We say the twin flame is just another, it's a person, our most harmonious match, okay? This person is our perfect mirror. This person is just like us. But then we express ourselves in a way that's not truly who we really are, because we're filtering it through fear, okay? Now, there's two things you can filter it through. You can filter it through fear, and you can filter it through need, which need is at the root fear. So it's really only fear, because need is a fear that you won't have. That's what causes need, a fear of lack, a feeling of lack. Okay, so then that's what causes the feeling of need. So really at the core root, there's only fear that gets in the way. Okay, but need is right on top of that. You know, before we get to that root, it's need. Okay. So your true twin flame is someone who's attracted to the real you. They're attracted to the soul you. This is a soul connection, a soul love. Okay. So when you are acting in a way that you're protecting yourself or that you're filtering your true soul's expression through fear, it repels them. So you're sitting here thinking, well, I told them this and I expressed myself to them and they didn't care. And a lot of times, the thing is, you didn't express yourself. You told them more. What you're really trying to say is, I gave them more than they gave me. I gave them all the clues. I gave them all the signs of how I felt. You know, I told them how I felt from a place of need. See, all of these things are in the way. Because even if, see, what's going to happen is, because this is a soul love, and a soul cares about what's best for you, they cannot respond and come into harmony and try to come into union with you. And if they did, it's going to be explosive and it's going to end anyway. But they can't, their soul is not going to pull them towards you when that's going on. Okay, when you're not flowing freely and able to be and express yourself as who you truly are. Okay. And so they're repelled by the inauthentic you. They are repelled by the needy you. They are repelled by the fearful you, the afraid of love you, the unhealed you that's just trying to avoid the same thing happening over again. The you who can't live without them, because that's not your truth and that's not the true expression of your soul. You're disconnected from who you are when you believe that you can't do without someone else. And you're unattractive to your twin flame in that situation, okay? That is not conducive to true divine love. It's just not. Okay, so the truth about what's actually repelling them is the filter through which you filter everything that you're putting out towards them. Okay, so this is why the way to your twin flame is through you. It's through you, because when you get fully connected back to you and who you really are, how you truly feel, and you're able to express your soul in truth fully, that is what they're attracted to. Okay, so that is the answer to the question. If you're wondering what is it that you're doing because you feel like you're expressing yourself, find your filters. Find where there's something you really wanted to say, but then you filtered it, you turned it around, you made sure you didn't look too vulnerable, you didn't want to put yourself out there too much, you didn't want to be too open. And then sometimes it's on the flip side. Remember, the need will cause you to put so much out there, but you're doing that because you want something back. That's coming from need. That's still not a genuine expression of the soul, because the genuine expression of the soul is just expressing something because this is who I am and this is me and this is just what it is. This is how I feel, and you're just expressing that. Wherever it goes, whatever happens, it doesn't matter to you. It's just the expression that you wanted to put out. Okay. So that is that, my dear ones. I want to say, if my work resonates with you, go to Patreon. The link is below. Join the Divine Tarot Love Club on Patreon for $1 a month. Just $1 a month. It starts there. You can get a general twin flame monthly reading, and also you will get videos. There's going to be information that is specifically for the Love Club, the Divine Tarot Love Club members. If I get up and I get a message that the Love Club needs this message, so it's another gateway for messages to get through to you that maybe you haven't heard. So I'm narrowing it down from the YouTube, just the regular YouTube audience, People who feel intuitively led to be a part of that club, go and join, because it's narrowing down the energies for me to get more specific things that people really need to hear within that group to help people on their journey. So if intuitively you feel like you need more guidance, you feel like you need to be a part of that, you feel an energetic resonance with me, and you feel something nudging you inside to do it, okay? So the link for that is going to be below. Also, at the end of the video and below, you'll see it below as well, there's going to be some information about my radio show, Divine Power Radio. Check that out. I'll be getting really deep into a lot of things. The episode coming up on June 4th is going to be about understanding the twin flame dynamic. I'm going to get really into that. It's going to be very helpful for everybody who listens in. So if you feel, led and you're wanting more guidance, you're wanting to get a deeper understanding of some of this stuff, that's the place to be. Okay. Divine Power Radio, and the information for that is below. There's going to be a show the first Sunday of every month. Okay. So I look forward to it. And then at the end, you guys can call in, ask me questions. We can chat about some things. I really look forward to that. It'll be a great time for all of us. Okay, so I really hope to see you there. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. Subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye, guys.